The news dropped without much warning, but once it landed, it spread fast. Ariana Grande is officially joining American Horror Story. Not a rumor, not a fan theory. A confirmed casting announcement tied to the upcoming season. Within minutes, timelines filled with reactions, speculation, excitement, and disbelief. For a show built on shock and surprise, this casting still managed to stop people mid-scroll. This marks the first time Ariana Grande will appear in the long-running horror anthology, a series known for reinventing itself every season and pulling in unexpected talent. The announcement placed her alongside returning franchise favorites, instantly changing expectations for what the next chapter could look like. Think about that for a second. How often does a pop superstar step into a universe built on fear, psychological tension, and darkness? The show itself has a long history. Since its debut in 2011, American Horror Story has run as a true anthology. Each season stands on its own, with a new setting, new themes, and often new characters, while still recycling familiar faces. Haunted houses, asylums, covens, carnivals, cults, hotels, apocalypses. The series has explored horror from almost every angle imaginable. Some seasons lean supernatural. Others focused on human cruelty. That flexibility is exactly what allows casting surprises like this to work. Ariana's involvement is not as random as it might seem at first glance. This is not her first step into scripted television, and it is not her first time working with Ryan Murphy, the creator behind American Horror Story. Years earlier, Ariana appeared in Scream Queens, another Murphy project that blended horror, satire, and exaggerated characters. That performance introduced her to a different kind of audience, and showed she could hold her own in a scripted ensemble. Do you remember how different that role felt compared to her music persona? Since then, Ariana's acting career has moved carefully rather than quickly. Music, remained the center of her public identity, but acting roles never disappeared completely. Instead, they appeared strategically. Her musical theater roots led to major film work, most notably her role as Glinda in the Wicked film adaptation. That performance really shifted how critics and viewers talked about her range. No longer just a pop star stepping into acting, she began to be discussed as an actor who just happens to be a pop star. That context matters now. American Horror Story does not cast lightly. The series relies heavily on performance. Characters are often extreme, emotionally demanding, and physically intense. Fear, manipulation, grief, obsession, power. These are not subtle roles. They require commitment. They require stamina. So when a casting announcement like this happens, it signals confidence behind the scenes. Someone believes she can carry that weight. So what exactly is known so far? Very little about the plot has been revealed. That is actually pretty typical for this show. Season themes are often kept secret until close to release, sometimes teased only through abstract trailers and cryptic visuals. Ariana's character has not been named publicly. No backstory has been shared. That silence has fueled speculation. Fans are guessing everything from supernatural villain, to tragic victim, to morally complex anti-hero. Which role feels more likely to you? What is known, honestly, is the company she will be keeping. The cast list includes returning heavyweights who have, really defined the series for over a decade. These actors are known for pushing boundaries and delivering performances that stick with you long after the episodes end. Joining that environment is definitely not a small step. It places Ariana right inside a machine that expects intensity and, rewards risk. The timing of this move is also, pretty important. Ariana is at a point in her career where she really does not need visibility. Her name already guarantees attention, without a doubt. That makes this feel less like a publicity move and more like a creative one. Horror television is demanding. It is not always flattering. It is not always comfortable. Choosing it signals curiosity and confidence rather than, just playing it safe. American Horror Story has a reputation for transformation. Actors return season after season in completely different roles. Heroes become villains. Victims become monsters. That environment encourages experimentation. It allows someone like Ariana to shed expectations and step into something unfamiliar. How often do audiences truly let performers do that without comparison? There is also the audience factor. The show has a dedicated fan base that dissects every frame. Casting announcements are treated like clues. Social media turns into a prediction engine. Theories spread. Old interviews are resurfaced. Past lyrics are reinterpreted. Every detail becomes potential evidence. That intensity mirrors the broader culture Ariana already exists in, but the tone shifts. Instead of glamour and chart positions, the conversation moves toward darkness and narrative meaning. That shift is significant. From the show's perspective, this casting brings new energy. Ariana Grande's fan base is massive and global. Her involvement will pull in viewers who may never have watched American Horror Story before. At the same time, longtime fans of the series will be watching closely, ready to judge whether the performance earns its place. That tension creates attention, and honestly, attention keeps a long-running series alive. From Ariana's perspective, this role expands her creative identity. It adds another genre to her resume. Pop, musical film, comedy horror, now full horror drama. Each step builds a broader picture. It becomes harder to dismiss her as limited to one lane. There is also something fitting about this particular pairing. American Horror Story thrives on spectacle, heightened emotion, and visual storytelling. Ariana's career has always embraced theatricality. From elaborate stage productions to concept albums built around emotion and transformation, the overlap is real. The difference is context. Music allows control. Acting requires surrender. Evan Peters, who has been one of American Horror Story's most familiar faces for years, has spoken about how excited he is to work with Ariana Grande after she was announced as part of the season 13 cast. Peters called her an incredible performer and actress, saying that her addition to the show will be awesome to have on board, and that her range of talent could really be used in exciting ways on screen. He also said he hasn't seen the scripts yet, and is curious to find out what the season has in store, and what Ariana will be doing in the story. If this project has unexpected twists or looks very different from what fans expected, what do you think Ariana's role might end up being? As production moves forward, more details will surface. There will be set leaks, costume hints, and cast interviews that reveal just enough to keep curiosity alive. Until then, the mystery really remains part of the appeal. The show is expected to continue its tradition of premiering around the Halloween season, aligning its release with the atmosphere. That timing matters a lot. Horror is seasonal. Anticipation, honestly, builds differently when darkness arrives earlier each day. Think about how expectations change when a familiar face enters an unfamiliar world. Does that familiarity make the fear stronger, or does it soften it? Another layer worth considering is how this fits into the broader trend of musicians crossing into high-profile television. In recent years, genre lines have really blurred. Music stars are no longer expected to stay in one box. Acting roles aren't just side projects, they're parallel paths. What sets this apart is the genre choice. Horror is unforgiving. Performances are remembered, and well, missteps are magnified. Success, however, can totally redefine careers. American Horror Story has done this before. Actors who were once underestimated found new respect through the series. Others surprised audiences by taking risks they never would have attempted elsewhere. That history adds weight to every casting choice. The reaction so far reflects that. Excitement dominates, but so does curiosity. People want to know who she will play, whether she will sing, whether the role will subvert expectations. Silence from the production team keeps those questions alive. And then there is the long-term impact. If this performance resonates, it opens doors. More dramatic roles, more complex characters. If it fails, it becomes a footnote. That risk is part of the calculation. Choosing to take it says something about where Ariana sees herself going. So as this season approaches, one thing is clear. This is not just a casting announcement, it is a statement about ambition, about range, about stepping into spaces that challenge comfort. The cameras will roll, the scripts will unfold, the audience will decide. Until then, the question remains. When the lights go out and the horror begins, who will Ariana Grande become on screen? Before the next headline drops and the internet moves on to its next obsession, take a second to stay right here. If celebrity news, casting shocks, and behind-the-scenes drama are what keep you watching, hit like so this story reaches more people who love it too. Subscribe for breaking entertainment updates, casting twists, and the kind of celeb gossip that doesn't miss the details. And share this with someone who still can't believe Ariana Grande is stepping into the world of American Horror Story. Because if this casting surprised you, the next one might stop you cold.